What is up, guys? It's Superken for Superken Game from the channel. Please subscribe, leave a comment saying hi, thumbs up. If you like the video already, share this video with your friends, and welcome to Hidden Gems. It's a brand new series that I'm starting. This is kind of a test episode. I don't think I'm gonna do another episode until this video gets at least 1,000 views. So if this is something you want to see me continue doing, please share this on your Twitters, on your Facebooks, all the places that you can share videos. I'd greatly appreciate it. But Hidden Gems is going to be a monthly series where I go over 5 games that I played the month before that I think deserves your attention. And you're probably thinking to yourself, 5 games for 1 month? How much weight could this list possibly hold? Well, the thing is, I review pretty much every game that looks interesting to me. So last month in July alone, I reviewed 22 games. So this month, I picked the 5 games out of the 22 I reviewed that I think is worth your time and attention, and it is in order, alright? I'm not one of those punks that are afraid to order things. Starting off the list, number 5 is Narcosis. Narcosis is available on the PC, the PlayStation 4, and the Xbox One. I played it on the PlayStation 4. It currently has a Metacritic score of 72, a user score of 6.2, and I gave it a 7 out of 10. Narcosis is... it's a very creepy, mysterious horror game. A lot of people are hating on it because Soma exists, and they're like, Soma is the better underwater horror game, but we live in a world where both exist. Why not enjoy both? This is nowhere near as good as Soma was. It definitely has its annoying, unfun moments, at least for me. Like, I'm not a fan of underwater like stations or space stations. They just fill me up with so much anxiety, where the game is a bunch of like searching rooms for documents and things like that. That's not necessarily what this is, but you will be searching for like a lot of switches, but there's some room shifting here, so it's sort of like an underwater Layers of Fear kind of thing. It's definitely like an Outlast sort of game where there are enemies that you can't really fight back. But the main reason that this game is on the story isn't necessarily for its gameplay, but for the overall experience, especially its story. This game had one of the most what the bleep moments that I've had all year. So if you're a horror fan, if you really love stories that are going to stick with you for a long time, definitely check out Narcosis. Alright, don't let this one slip under your radar, pun intended. Number 4, the Mooseman. Everybody making fun of the Mooseman for its name. This game is available on PC, PlayStation 4, Nintendo Switch, and Xbox One. It has a Metacritic score of 79 on the PC and a user score of 7.2. I gave it a 7.5. You'll notice my scores usually line up with either the user side or the Metacritic side. That means I know what I'm talking about when I score games, alright? If y'all want to come on my videos and cry about the score I give a game, that's fine, but I know what I'm doing. And sometimes everybody else is wrong, but I'm never wrong. But the Mooseman, how to explain the Mooseman? It's like the Mooseman has bits of puzzle elements, but it's not constantly puzzle solving like Limbo, for example. And there's no platforming. It's just like walking forward. It's like a 2D walking simulator with light puzzle elements, and it's set in this beautiful world. The story was hard to follow for me, but this is such a beautiful world to experience. You go through. There isn't really much to say other than that. If you're one that loves exploring beautiful worlds, then check out the Mooseman. Great art. Number 3, this game doesn't currently have a Metacritic score. It's getting a lot of 65s and 60s out of 100, so 6/6.5s. But I gave Anamorphine a 7.5. This is available on the PS4 and PC. I'm not sure if it's available yet in VR, but if not, it's definitely coming for both PC as well as PlayStation VR. I gave it a 7.5 out of 10. This was my favorite story experience of the month. It's very much about depression. You play as a husband. The game starts, you're on rock bottom, you're in your apartment, there's like trash all over the place, and there's this broken cello, and you collect the pieces, and it just sets you off on a journey of discovering why this guy's so depressed. This is a very short game. Like, you can beat it in under 2 hours, but I feel like the game does such a great job of telling a story without saying a word. but you're going through his subconscious mind, through his memories with his wife, and finding out why he's so depressed, why he's rock bottom. And there are 2 different endings for this game. I didn't know that until after I beat it, but there's a good ending and there's a bad ending. This is, again, like a walking simulator game. There's not much gameplay. You really just walk around, you look around. It's more about experiencing the memories with this guy's wife and going through the story of depression for him. And I don't want to talk too much about the story. I just want to let it surprise you. A bunch of shifting rooms, again, Layers of Fear style. I always talk about Layers of Fear when I talk about shifting rooms because I feel like Layers of Fear does room shifting the best in any game I've ever played. So I'm always going to refer to that when I talk about shifting rooms, but it's a lot of turning around and now you're in a different room. That kind of experience. It's a really cool experience. It does have a bit of performance issues. Like it definitely feels like it chugs along when it loads into new areas, and loading times are like 1.5 to 2 minutes long when you finish a chapter, but I really enjoyed Anamorphine. Number 2 is Celeste. Alright, I'm not a fan of Celeste, but I appreciate it, so I'm putting it on my list anyway. That's another thing about my list. I'm gonna try my hardest not to make it biased, but it's gonna be a little bit biased. Alright, just a little bit biased. Celeste currently has a Metacritic score of 91, and strangely a user score of 6.2 for the PlayStation 4. On the Switch, the scores are much higher because it's the Switch and everything on the Switch. Anything tied to Nintendo gets overrated and overscored. But I gave Celeste an 8 out of 10. I feel like Celeste is such a great game. It's a little bit overhyped, a little bit overrated, especially with the IGN 10 out of 10. I don't think Celeste is a masterpiece, but then again, I didn't really play Celeste from start to finish the way it was intended, and that's what kind of makes Celeste so great. It has grueling difficulty to it, but it has a setting where you can basically just explore the game at your free will, not worrying about taking damage, not worrying about dying. You can just explore, collect all the collectibles, get the trophies. There's tons of silvers and gold trophies. This is a trophy hunter's dream, sort of. There is one trophy that's going to stand in your way where you have to beat Celeste on the Pico 8. I spent 2 hours. I got to level 27 out of 30 and I quit. Like I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it anymore. I gave up on this platinum, but Celeste is such a beautiful game. Again, it also tackles the subject of depression, about this little girl climbing a mountain and she has no idea why. But things slowly unfold as you go. So there is a nice story here as well, but Celeste is just a nice bag for everyone. Like, everyone's gonna find something to like about Celeste. It's not gonna make my personal top 25 games of the year, but I know Celeste is for sure gonna be in the discussion by the end of the year. Probably even win some Game of the Year awards from other people, just not me. And finally, number 1, Hollow Knight. Hollow Knight currently has a Metacritic score of 87 and a user score of 8.8 on PC, which is where I'm currently playing it. It's also available on the Switch. By the way, Celeste is available on the PS4, the Switch, PC, Xbox One. But Hollow Knight, I'm still actually playing. I'm still reviewing. This game is super long. I put probably 8 hours into it so far, and I'm probably only halfway through the game, if that. Hollow Knight is such a special game. Like, I haven't even finished it yet, and it's my number 1 hidden gem for the month of July 2018, because it's such a special game. Like, at first I really appreciated the feel of it. It's super smooth, super beautiful, and I'm getting deeper, and I get into this room with this enemy that just slams his hammer down super fast. I'm like, oh, this is the first boss battle. Struggle to defeat this guy. And it's a quick realization that, oh, this is like pretty much a 2D Dark Souls, except with much more fluent mechanics. But the thing about Hollow Knight that's so great is that it's challenging. It gets the challenging right. So many games mix challenging up with annoying, alright? Challenging and needless difficulty are not the same thing. Annoying the player, cheap deaths is not the same thing as challenging. This game is challenging in the way where you have to figure out patterns, you have to time your attacks. The game isn't cheap. It's challenge done right, and that's what keeps it so addictive. It's a lot of risk and reward. Every time you die, you just want to go back into Hollow Knight. You just want to go deeper underground with these adorable little bugs. Like, I've never awed at something trying to kill me as much as I do in Hollow Knight. Like, they're so adorable, but they're out here trying to kill me. It's not fair that they're so adorable trying to kill me. It's like having a crazy girlfriend that's so cute. That's what Hollow Knight is. Hollow Knight is a super cute, crazy girlfriend. I can't imagine me giving this game less than an 8.5 currently. But I just had to squeeze this on the list, even though I haven't finished it yet. It's that good. And by the way, that enemy wasn't even the first boss. It's just a regular enemy that you occasionally run into as you go through the different worlds. He wasn't even the first boss. The actual bosses I've had beaten, I think I've went through 3 bosses out of, I think there's 8 bosses in the game. I might have that number wrong. But the bosses are actually easier than like these random super tough enemies that you run into. But there's checkpoints all over the place. It's just so addictive. Hollow Knight, everybody give Hollow Knight a chance. Like, I don't care what kind of gamer you are. If you're not really into Metroidvanias, like, I don't like Metroidvanias. I don't like retracing my steps, going to new locations, getting new items, going back. And I'm still in love with this game. Like, at first I was like, I gotta stop. This isn't for me. But I gave it a chance. And I dug deeper. It was actually during the first boss fight that I fell in love with this game. Like, that I felt, wow, this is so cool. This is so charming. So at least give it to the first boss fight. Get to the first boss, and the first boss isn't the boss that you think it is. Alright? You'll get to an enemy that you think is a boss, but I promise you it's not a boss. But when you do get to the boss, you'll know that's the real boss. And Hollow Knight is such a special game. But thank you guys so much for watching Hidden Gems for the month of August 2018, aka the games I played in July. If you want to see this series keep going every single month, please share this. Help me get to at least 1,000 views. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to the channel. And of course, stay beautiful. If you like this video, please consider supporting me on Patreon so that I can continue to bring you reviews for all the newest games at patreon.com/superkengaming. You'll get access to early audio and video versions of reviews, exclusive Let's Play videos, and you'll even get to choose the game I play next. Thanks for watching, and of course, stay beautiful.